mpeso mu bie na me se me bie ma na you know omo ka che me se ometimi de omo abom me wo ba bi a obi ehu se de eri ye mini nti omo nja mark nti me ye mu de yesisi mu kama nti me do be ba kunya call nti omo nya call wie no ka kire omo se yesi ye nyimi mfi airport rekwari nya me enim tama ye nyimi fi airport ne de na me feeling ni say ekukumi. You know, because all that has happened no to that time, that was the feeling I got. And I didn't police can well VAT be now military for ye beat it in China in Sabunkum in Senifa. And on the Bibi Kata miti and almost started driving. And the more driving, more feed traffic in him and no more speed. I mean, say yeah, motorway so. Sana yede me call, you know. Baby at later me be who say Shaman police station. Nti Accra ni arrest me fear they me pa, you know, airport police station ho ni okro nyina be sen ko Shama. Na question say adentina question now be say adentina Shama na yede me call ye no. You know, a question me bisa me hu bi kakra. But one of the things I came to quickly realize is say you can one of the rough jails ewo Ghana, Ashama, one of them. Nti na me feel me one of the things that Matthias and say be another person we no pan say on person me di me she baby a me feel and I say the be twima so pa and I say the be omo di mewu enu say the me ko Ashama is the feeling I had. But who be say omo ameni omo koda ho say identity the ba Ashama so omo response is different. Omo so me try say Ashama na the mba no the mba say me a miracle. Say omunsu no be nam me so ma omunsu no obi beti o asem so omunsu be nam me so ma you know nti no yeah nti obi say omunsu omo perspective as the omo kan no e wo say omunsu an say be your miracle no nti obi an his perspective o wom me say nen no obi say me a I think say I will have that perspective ne say nyame nim de oye and I say you know bibia wonda ne kwan so say Ashama na me call ye and whatever reason me call ho nti no e be fa so e de anyonyam abre adwuma ye ne face the country ye
that's it na me ma menua ba shine your eyes any mama ba akwaba menua ba ma Oliver e bro na ye sha say ye bo no e bro no sha say efri airport na hwan mu na e bro e na bro no to aso e koduru hinfa.
So yet me buy you know the first I mean me drew immigration kai said na me expect it be sir and me do me passport ma immigration officer no and offer another person buy and me share the bisa and say oh bibia na ono si o system no ye down and one am so stadium you know and immediately na me fa phone na me frɛ me cry say me be frɛ lawyers one you know they're threatening me say you can't use the phone and I'm saying I want to call my lawyers because I think I am under arrest. You see happening and he pulling me call another part of the airport na as an immigration officers no ho nti ma metina ho for almost 45 minutes and at some point that means is say you know I think I would leave. Let me be someone say am I under arrest? You say no, you are not under arrest. You say I'm okay. So when you're under arrest, and this is one of the things I make catch you be. Anytime I only police, when you any situation be now, we decide say arrest or watch you na no see there be on arrest you try say walk or try say fee because now or stop you with the clearly you're under arrest. So that's one of the things I told them. Say okay, well, so when you're under arrest, then you beko. And one of them started say we nim na you know o try and the idea by year or hano. So but you know less than 5 minutes and he PM ko share some office ho in the office ho no na I started to too many around na me say you ho na me try say me who any name say be a wine office ni because I needed to start registering what is happening. You know, so I saw somebody's name, and I'm in front to just say, "I can lawsuit in a year, no?" And nipa no inside no see me fa me phone ma no na I'm say oh there's no reason me name at the current tempo me wa in the phone no me fa ma no no start so or ye me and no pie na nipa I think 3 or 4 eba mu no mo she mufti no mo ekrekre through o man ka hwe why na say from mechi na start ebo masum into mo bobo masum no mo ebutu me na me be say what is the basis of my arrest? I need to speak to my lawyers. Na ni de o ni edi gumi so ani. Ni etunto so gumi so ni e de omoboot ni butu me yem. And all this time now me can I want to I need to see my lawyers. I need to see my lawyers. Njomo ye so started wa airport hono and this went on I think for 45 to an hour.
Woo.
Before you be me pie or no me pie fee ho and took me outside the airport towards tarmac baby airplanes ni wono na na o ma park cars ni bebre na no mo gina ho with a two no bebre and your farming no mo driving me and no mo driving me call another side of the part of the airport and a private facility means security for no use and answer I don't know. I actually don't know. Because I think that it was a bit towards, if I'm trying to, because what I was trying to do is say, as I'm moving in, now me try to make planning the layout of the airport, I want me team. Because I know say who be here. So I think it was towards the other part, old Wabagana, Nansemo, they said temna train at but not original airport side, no, a whole side. Any of them call Nechi. No me ko share ho nze ho no na omode me ko share no mo rem no mo the handcuffed mo handcuff me na other new group of people am so mo ba ya che say omo se ne omo to aso no mo yiya me no mo tutunte so gumi so no mo bomani so no mo cancel I gbeni so ye nipa kwasia na je say yebon omo abo so all those things no mo bobo. Then the only thing I just kept saying is that I want the right to my lawyer because I mean, say, any idea make can be just say better the omo no. But the most important thing is say, I need to show say I have insisted for my right to a lawyer. So he arrested me by 5 p.m. Time I yebe me fee airport call Ashaman police station. It was almost 11. So for nearly 5 to 6 hours, this was what was happening.
Wow.
And
Wow.
Anyway,
sorry.
One of the things, ways, because me kai say yeah konom de bibi share me team there was no reason say I be cover my name. So when they make a police station, that's one of the reasons why immediately, I felt from all the threat no more can say with me. The fact that they share me team gave me that indication because they make a police station. Who cares about baby Edemeko? I mean, I would know say police station Edemeko. So what reason in Tia be cover me? So that's where my first instinct started feeling from. In Tieko motorway in Sumpono, me shada catch from say me Junso. And my thinking then was hoping, because I need to find a way to run away. And I didn't want us to get to wherever I didn't make on. And I know that there's not enough light on the motorway. So one of the things I catch on said, "Mpesa Junso," and I'm going to say, "Opa create nigu."
Oh my God.
7. And my feeling in that moment, was okay. I don't know whether because he said whether these people were videoing me. Say I'm video, whatever was happening. So I just, decided that in that moment to make my voice louder. No, maybe some of a lawyer, me money ye louder. So say video be or move video be and I say, and I say we be bemu, and it will be clear what I was asking for in that moment. Oh, not just that to throw you there. na just me ayi bia na just atutro ne na ye mo nti de me call omo call motorway no so no I mean in my mind I knew it was the motorway because na speed na omo de call no and just speed no so try call traffic mu kakra na go park wo baby e twen kakra na e be yi ade no fimiti nti yi ade no na you know police lights in the bibia na said darkness na e wa ade nim nti no it took a while for me eyes to adjust me ni be adjusted to environment na me wo mu no. And eventually, me who environment, and then I started getting a sense that na a police station. Then no no, even then, cranny, my in a car, ni mo check a crack because they needed to go and I think they went upstairs to go and talk to the Ashaman police commander. No, so I was in there for a while, and suddenly they may call Ashaman police station and handing me over to them. Ye be me raw me home and put me in the cell.
Wow. When you now film or bra your born in your film, you know. I didn't know Wabamu. Now when Jai fix the country, when Jai freedom fighter. Now see you are even stronger than before. Again how.
With him, one of the things I think that experiences I mean jail no nkofo ameni omo twetwe nkomo who the situations am ko hu ye no ma me feel bisa me hu say nti de ye ni senia ya encourage Ghana for mebunu abedru mpempensu yi se me be fi ha na de ma famu nti me be ka se me be jai de ye na message ben ye send to yenuanum and no was one of the biggest motivating factor for me say senior ejuma ye nti no de besi bia whatever has happened no maybe the enum be hye mu and understand say this is why at the counter ye ku ayeka say ye ku agifa hodie no ntia ni meaning nankasa na me fam no because anya way ni ye fam a there will be no reason say ye be de edin kase beto ye ho so say ye frɛ ye ho freedom fighters. Wow. Say freedom wo ho fa hodie wo ho dada. Then I walk on prefer hundie. So these are some of the conversations I had with myself. Now, I mean, I wrote, for almost 300 pages, and I was doing a lot of reading. South African apartheid, say, Desmond Tutu, Steve Biko, all those experiences. Now, I did a lot of reading. We read 13 books in the time there, and I saw, a lot of them went through West there. Massacres. You shoot nipa over 200 people dead. Police for so all just so that they can get their freedom. Now, yeah, freedom no, freedom from poverty, economic freedom. So it is an understanding what me say. See, be jai way ni dia. And I just said, yeah, Ashiegu. And then no motivate me, I say, I'll continue what I'm doing.
Money ejuma power ye. What's the in din? Yes, be man since one sound.
My main plug in my computer me power ne call for it.
Martin Medasi. You know my journey, Mama Ba, shine your eyes. Medamasi say monso my joy na yin na yesu an de afri enwa be ma Oliver ho. Na me gidi ye say yenso yin na ne e be free akona ya yedin Ghana na yin na ye be ko na yakọ face whatever we need to face anya sa no ana e kamia ye say yenwa be ma Oliver nko a e na wasofa yin na nim say we are going through all this social media there nanso no in fact omo njaya on social media kra omo tata o baby a kana yenka se ne be yo mo nyom de say we are stronger than that. And it's Mammy say me say we don't fight the country. A Juma ye no. Kamia say ye yama opposition party. Yentimi fate party be a maye. Enti ojidi ye say opposition party obebano. Preaching ye preaching ye Juma ye. And say be na anase say be a maye konisa.
One of the questions I think they face the country in freedom fighters. No question will be sir. Na na a lot of the times no nkrofo say just a one party amasisi ana ene mo ye adwuma ama NDC say omombe benefit. But one of the things I am making is say one ma Ghana for no enya GDA wo mu a and found say what party or say one tea party. Ghana for bebre no Ghana for ehun party for a long time. Omo party bebre. And there is a reason why party getting into me survive. We share all the times now park with syndrome. I standing here elections both on CPP tickets and also on Nwakote PPP no. All in the presidential debates, issues no more can no be added to say no park with syndrome can maybe or can't dear can't Ghana for akuma. But despite we no matter echi no matter for the two main parties. So one of the things Matthias said the fact that what the party in interest Ghana for no better amount by all means.
Yeah.
So the first question is said, then the bank Ghana for no bepening and I saw me tie the no be echi. Wejuma ye no. And then the most important question, the critical question, say yebisa. So you say ye bi nkrofo ni etwe nkrofo aso a sen ye na esifa strategy ben ye deko na ye nkoye the same mistakes no na just say sen nkrofo wo enidaso ye so nkrofo no wo believe say the country be the papa be beba na freedom fight ye the bibi papa beba no ye dey ye prepare ye ho na ya nya na fanya man to 2 year then we will end up like the two parties no ma betin akono and the two opposition party main parties no they want us to do and some person here they person here and some person here party no because some tia say game ni ya dey away for 30 years and if you don't understand how to go about it now they are prepare a creative political party within just 1 year then they'll be two game you say sabi yesi kwase ni wo eni kwase ni agro enye sa na kwase ano ono beba ni level no obiti with experience omo game you who experience. So if that's the most important thing, the first thing I be saying say okay, how can we proceed send ye be ko yenim progressively kakra yedi nyama beto 2 year send ye be ya the time na ye share Ghana for some to aba mayen and so monye say no na yinyankrofo dodo omudi yechi omu believe yen omedi yechi ma example bi fix the country say no you see a movement mewa say you can say for register as political party ye de marano and the political party no I see yet offices over all the regions in this country. I say in your district offices and so. In terms of your donations, now you bit me receiving impono. You will and how to go about it. Now, Siciano, yeah, face the country, your momo air for the signing, you know. You were 500 and last time you were 370 something. And I make call, you on Henry David show so in the beginning kakraka on about 571 or 72. Political parties no primaries no they're spending 50 million cedis. Okay. Yeah, well, face the country you need trog. You need yenko villages bebre. Regions ni yenko ka region we bakun we yenka say region where the yafemo ama there were reps in every corner of that day. But me the movement build it up at the nyama to 2 year. And obian said ye no fa hunde ni yepe. And yes ye kasa keke. But ye could do baby ye so near first of all no ye trainee ye home. Secondly, so ye identify in crofo bit me di say yanko na nkrofo nkoto abawo different constituencies man before you be your money. This is the process I hear come. So the objective no is two parties never show me feel. But what we will do is say yeah say we will not make the same mistakes now. Small parties need to say CPP, PNC, we are not making the same mistakes again. Yeah, fano kakra. Yeah, make sure say bedru sampempen so no. Ghana for no aji yedi. Your message ye kura no important message. Last time me call boss me can say your constitution that ho sesi anompo no. O de Yesu be de enim kra obewi aye. Ehun be yin say mra na ye de be sisi ho nompo no for adwuma ye no. Eye mra nkofo nim say ye nu yen ka say ye you know ye ho te anase ye kronkron for but ye nim mistakes are ewo ho. Say na you know MPP ni ndisi de bia no position ka chen say ese constitution de ese sa no nso mbedi wi a no mo nye no ese sa nyama ni nyina ye de to ho ni ye de fa ye ho adwen ansa. That's the second thing. The another thing is me say 2023 your district assembly elections. Okay. Yeah, number of district assemblymen and assemblywomen in Ghana no almost 30,000. See, you see a building momentum. Now you're starting no incrementally kakra. You see, okay, you pay nipa 100 in every region. Normal standing assemblymen. That's 1,600 people. So 1,600 people now you push your mono. You organizers no. You mobilizers no across the country. Into you build the movement kakra. So see another day, you corporate 2024 election and you are there able to me because we don't have the money, we don't have the structures. Into my infant who prepare and go drew her. A drum in your shas, you know, the name objective a die name. Mimpo no bisamia, and yamin kwama dream po, I mean, I di home come. Say, Ubisamia, make us say, the first time I ever filled the presidential candidate in Mpono, can train 10 years. Yen target parliament. Yen build. The first parliamentary is a young fifer. Near ye hope say a Jumon by ye no more yet, dear Malema Moye was South Africa Magana phone say yes. On one go did MPP near DCH. West Grashana de be criticizing a buyer no. Say community project. Because we don't believe in that. Say to me, yeah, Nyama Ghana phone bet me a dia. Then we are getting somewhere. Kasa ye kasa nimpono. Ebe no feel say be NDC adwuma ne ye. For them no, unless they be empower NDC beba, now they will see the way ye carry ye ho. Who say the butai bi esi nim and we are continuing towards that objective and answer say go now. See anya na sa, anya ade o metimi agi ye di. That's me perspective. Me see you building a kakra. District assembly elections are here. Near the BIA. Diaspora chapters na ye see ye creating no. Ni ye creating senior. Ye koho, you know, no more buy-in in terms of connections, fundraising. Assembly to obi wa Ghana mpono. Na ye chapter ye USDC. Any US senators akoshia about the issues what Ghana. That is how you fight for freedom. Say na me huno. Me my example be say when you papa Kwame Nkrumah mo omo pray for hundie no mpo na enye ye nkrofo ana say nye bibifo mpo na die so ya brofo na omo 100 no mpo no. It took them over 10 years, about 12 years to get independence. Enye kwa. So I don't want it to make like, you know, but that's my perspective. And other people can share their opinion, but the most important thing is what is the most solid basis you bet me drew, you know, objectives now you drew no.
Talking about constitution, Tembia freedom fighters ye can ye kasafa constitution na adentina ye nkasa constitution omo review na ye catch on say omo nsesa no anase ye replace constitution no edie na ye enye wo constitution nim edie nso na eye wo constitution nim na me kai say atamels mreso MC ye mrantie bi a sabre no ye mu say mo review constitution no na ka e bia nsesa ye betimi abemu a na minim say oka ho bi eno so no edie na wo kan fa constitution ho eden kwa na freedom fighters and as a free the country you see you replacing no but not reviewing it.
Me that say, you know, one of the things about constitution is you wonyama mienu you want the content the womb, and you want a process, send you see buffer, send a quite a buffer so abemu. Now, send your kind, yes, in 2010, no, yeah, constitution review process. Yeah, recommendations, 200, almost 300, 211 recommendations. Saying yes, sign or constitution, baku 211. Okay. Ubisa me, yeah, I been say, okay, I don't know any bibisa, ni 211 changes our constitution, nimo for example. And I may say, omuda ye nimuno. Oma blocky process no. Ye that recommendations ni in a way. No muka chia ni say Attorney General ni say se opese osisa sanya mawe nyina. E say issue baku bia no utro new amendment bill. Would be change no. That process no from start to finish no will take 3 years for each one. Senior Parliament be debate in the Council of State. Ebe back. Or measure be debate ebe referendum. Ye be two Parliament, finance minister discovered about vote, and then they be a referendum. No, 3 years for one recommendation. So you be 211 recommendation changes now. That's 633 years. Because medicine a hobby. Now me a part of the discussion. No, me who say, almost sheda no more de be the amendment. No, FIA ni so, but yenye who she. Because someone says that process is blocked. So one of the things that you're suggesting is say because you have a new constitution, so changes now more can no. You say that the for document no, ni all that changes in one document. Ni friend new constitution. Ni for magana for one referendum. No one can say you vote once. You vote once, ni adopted one document. Now no better than your constitution. Second of all, no one pay new document now. That is that none yet. So it's about and then the process now. Yeah, they changing, because the process of amendment, Bema process now a bit block it. You mean yet they say no. The second thing is say content. Now yeah, you can new constitution. The my explain natural when say a bit me ama your changes near can be bemun into the can new no. So that be no once and for all. But the first say you can new constitution and just say be a constitution ni no you better egu. Enya no ni yeka. Because changes ni dosu ni 633 years say you better na ho nti no. Yen consolidate all that changes ni yen one document. Ni yen fe no ni yen bra ni yen be vote wo so. So it's about the process because when you want to say the people don't want to change anything about the constitution. Until you kasa, some more kasa any amendment in kwa. Some of the amendment no more can see no. Two, for example, one, President Akufo-Addo said the no penny say, assemblyman ni year no. Yen for party in some assembly elections. Ni assemblyman ye ni NDC for assemblyman, MPP for assemblyman. Na parliament ba kun kran kran yen hu so. Gana for do one say nya no ni yepe. Usi DC ni yesi yepese yetu DC ya baso no. Omo ma ye ma Constitution Review Commission ma process bi. Seka Public Services Commission. Nkofo be apply say na wo pe job no. Ye hwe o track record. Ye be ye interview. Ye yi nipa 3. Na nipa 3 no ya to amomo. Because these are managers. And ye politicians. Because local level no dey pese drive development. Some mentality no ye pese ye dey ye. Omo se dey be mama yenya ne sa. Akufo-Addo ni say yen for party policy on the no kwa no pe. Yen no district level no kwa sa. Wo ka say amendment e be one issue be say na dey abrel. Wo ka say amendment say the Attorney General no ono ani Minister of Justice. Omo say yen chemu na ba ko nya Minister of Justice na ba ko nya Attorney General. Nti yen create two posts. And no ni yen change because constitution no ma ho kwan. Nti yen change yen no pe e constitution ni. Sa jaman kiti en fafa hundie ne mrew. Ne man there say na yebetimi structure constitution no say bia na wote say bia oboase say na ye too good wo ho no ye say ye ma obi am too say good no and unless say community no benya 30% shares ewo company be too good nim na say shares na eba directly inside kwa himfofo ho eba directly into the community for projects and no be say such changes when ye can but some they make for example say no I've been Matina sa commission no ehu se ne nyamasiko eno nana mu na ye frame no ye framing a new constitution. You say be ye cannot say ye be a difficult. Ye nim say the bit protect Ghana for interest. But say Ghana for do 86% who constitution in that. Our money mushi no. Omo de mo fa ne say bia oh sade say ye de ye nto ntwene. Enye no ne ye kan. Won nti na omo de bia fie nyanse bi fa ho say bia oh ye nya but constitution ye di bumran ye di bu oman no. Ebinom nim pa de ewom sesia na emma yenko yenim. Sankrofo no nim say di bu omo. Omo pese changes na say ye wom no. Omo pese ye be ye eno such changes no. Eno nti ye ka new constitution ho asem no. Na mame fa kakra bi nso so. One of the projects ye see yenim na ye beka ho asem. One of the things I kwakwaye no tamale as a next step of activities. Ne yenya funding be and ye be ho mene you know ye di ho come privately mo bebre nim about yenya funding be e be ho press conference funding no my yen create yet this my escape ye betimi a draft a different constitutional amendment bill ye be draft ye be push it through member of parliament I best part of the constitution a partner be sisano e be ma ho kwan say yen pupu no ye betimi aboaboa ye ho ye de signatures ye draft the pe e constitution no ye be sisano no na ye draft na ye agigi signatures ye signatures to a level na e be force your mom to initiate referendum ye be kwako vote wo ho directly and no ye ho ye working on. Because one of the things I see is from repeat the mistakes of the past. So we are focusing on constitutional change, and we are focusing on in this year, it means you funding from an organization to do this work. So I know you better join in the appropriate time.
And it's what did you say current political party and as a political party be a bit to me actually wants to say constitution of freedom fighters makasa kan ho asemwa obese sanu ana wo did you say and as you say yan kasa ne force e best san ya de
on opposition there any one so bit me aka say oh ye buy best sanu because time the constitution is see ho no first na MPP kan say constitution ye mfo aso enye papa ye ba first ye be ye say be sesa no na omampanyin kufo ba ye kan ya wanye ye be yi omampanyin kufo ne ye ko 2008 election no munyina all the political parties in fact na akufo ado no di enimo say ono be create constitution review commission ye betimi asesa ye constitution say no be di aboa Ghana for ana ye bon say man no bebre na say election when winning na Professor Mills winning here and the first time Professor Mills here and say o create this constitution review commission na obeka baby basically all of the parties no enye ready and my example tamana yenye koye e-levy demonstration by na NDC some kwakoye demonstration no and omo tun sa free fees the country and say okay first time na mo free crofo ye communication tax na yikufu abreso na nkrofo di mo chia na mo se mo ba mo be yi communication tax na fi ho but NDC buy no be two mu instead ye pese ba be di NDC echi se ne mo ba be demonstration fa e-levy ho na mo be promise se mo be yi na e ba na mo say increase no biom nti de yen de da ye boso ne se ye pese ye constitution ho baby nti se mo be ye press conference na mo announce se constitution no ye be ye ho bibi a ye be di mo echi because any na hia ye long term change no ne ye pe because tax no de mo di dada ye and if for say hey I don't know ye be ka say ye nza constitution mo ye mo ne hwan in fact Professor Mahama last speech no ye no obo constitution abaso bebre one word say o message constitution no okay me kra me be try post bibi say Mahama speech no ma bebre no feel the country for mo te say o kasa mo ye constitution ho bibi ana obi anka ho we so that's the most important thing me no there I think say Say yen de ye. Say yes power ni yepe for power's sake. Say ni beti mi asese nyama ni yepe. In the constitution assembly ni yebedi so, ni yebepe funding, ni yebeti mi akoso, ni ye movie Ghana for no ni yepe signatures, ni ye movie among to the street. Cause it's a benye constitution, papa ebedi aboye na yeso ya kwanji ye mayampa. So that process ni de nya de yebeti mi jai atu baby. Now till this point ni de party bi anywhere, omo nyina taste constitution no, awaye na adwene so person ye hu bibi till this point.
Wow. And then I have a question you chat on Jao Amawako. You basically say I didn't know I won't stand there as a member of parliament and as a Rashi Bedreni. And then now because me share one farmer any other woman Ghana. Me gidi says what me come be MIA about boy I'm a freedom fighters please the country no your message no it's me a oh stand there and then away your message you chat on. I'm your question you chat on.
One of the things I mean from the very beginning, I face the country as here. And said, "Say personally, no, me interested in say you be me into office. Say, but then me the president to say me call parliament. My role, he said, make so that all other people, competent people, say we say, you be identifying Crawford, and then give them and push them." I think the Jumani year no. Say 10 years na me see no. I can my best role I made me play is to keep building face the country at that point. And we have so many competent people who are more anymore. We are in the process of identifying certain constituencies. You share demographic changes now. Everything to push those people to go forward. So when person be a bit say be a mean say me call answer. You bit me a call him. Me obia when the role of movement no play. Me movement me role and say I'm playing the role of semi administrator. Say me tinyama to 2 years and pushing people and keeping this flag moving. Now me anticipate all the kind of yeah. That's my main motivation. You know, and I know say me identifying Crawford. The second thing is say even say I identify Obi and I identify constituency I didn't panic on. And see a kai say face the country a support base no apathy in the entire country. And then you know one constituency. And so for instance, say beba you be choose say bia you find say ya was west we go. Near the Obi be kohwa. Na you know no more man on nyina with me ato abayi no. Na Mrano, because me name Mrano ntino, met me say, okay, you will be a friend of proxy. Nipa ne bako ye registration now. Nipa ne beto abana ma. Na yen fees the country for ye name say nipa 20,000 crown on one man on you support face the country now. You can register mun nyina was one constituency name. Ni afa omafa your proxies no so akoto aba amanipa no. Se ne ya ho ndin nyina no ye de be gina the key constituencies name. Now it may electing Crawford. And yes, I need to contest the entire country now. You supporting you know, you be petitioning you know, also be 400 waha, no be 600 waha. Sadly, you know, you need about 1, 2, 3, 4 constituencies. No, not towards election day. You are Bassi and Crawford to elect the people now. Say electing now. That is understanding a strategy of electing people.
Wow.
You know, so this is what I think generally of the best way say bit meeting Kofuako. But I think the Mangasa personally there, my best support to face the country is to grow this movement.
Okay.
You know, and make sure say Kofuako.
Okay, me that say. I'm say me manom me bema Oliver. I'm say me question trust on me dia ma no. Me ma me ba mama ba akasa be ono so question be the mawa mama ba if you na ye call inua ba shine your eyes so eti mama me mo akwa ba wo question be ma inua be ma Oliver no
yeah it's a free ma me da say na me da ye da tie ko so nyina ase ye do mo se bebiri se nipa bia ya ji mere se ya wo so se o ma da age na o mo digina so kopim tema ye be wie program ye do mo se ba ye sro mo se omo modin ya na omo share video no pa ma fi se nyo omo a nka yeduma di ye di nka nko ba bi omo na support ye ama nne so ye ka freedom fighters a ye so ye tin jina ba bi ka se ye freedom fighters ye ba na mo support ye mo share video na nko e na ye bra Oliver so yɛda n'ase bebree in fact wayɛ bi tema na wɔkasa no eduru baabi no na metimi hu sɛ yiyaw na ne werɛ yɛ aho na nka nyɛ sɛ ɔyɛ bee ma sɛ nka ɔyɛ ɔbaa nka obesu by adeɛ baako ampɛ sɛ meka kyerɛ no ma no de hyɛ ne mu nkura ne sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ adeɛ wei no ofeel proud wɔ ho ɛwɔ sɛ ofeel mama ne nya ɔyɛ fi sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ ofeel proud sɛ wo because of Ghana nti tu yɛ de kɔto mu no ɛnyɛ bɔne bi na wayɛ o ɛnyɛ because of wo nti yɛ de kɔto mu o because of Ghana amanfo mo ho kyerɛ mo ɔmo ni bia na wo dwene mo ho I hope say ka Oliver nko a nka saa momo taxi anko mo de ba onfa ho ɔwɔ ne bibidi nti nko mbɛte ne taxi na ɛka ɔno nko anko onfa ho ba ɔdwene ahiafo yɛ ma mo so ne ma ton ne ma wɔ kwan ho na yɛsia ba bɛte ɔmo sika no ɛnne yɛ ne yeya ɛka ɔno na gusua nko anko ɔmfa na nokora ntum nti yɛda na se na yɛ very proud say yɛ nya nipa saa ɛwɔ yɛ mu sɛ watini asi ne bo yɛno bi a yɛka akokoro ka mo ka sɛ ɔmbɛtie nka yɛ nkɔ ka me sɛ me nkɔ me de ɔmo ka kyerɛ me sɛ ɔmbɛtie me nkɔ mo nkɔ kye me saa de ba ɔmo ka sɛ ɔmbɛtie no nso ne nyina akyi wakɔ ade ne ho akɔto ama Ghana na akɔhye ba mpɛsɛ bisa ne sɛ ɔyɛ lawyer na onim mmere na yɛakyew fi sɛ I hope sɛ ɛnyɛ mmara sɛ yɛbɛkye obi na yɛbɛbo saa abra yɛ nyanka wo de nti a yɛakyew kora po na yɛkyew na yɛboro yɛm polisifoɔ wɔ sɛ nkɔmɔ hɔ ma yɛ polisifoɔ wɔ sɛ nkɔ obi nya asɛm pa na ka yɛbɛkye nipa na abo na ɔmo na nkɔmɔ gye abɔ yɛ ho pa sɛ yɛmmo ma wo mpira no ɔmo mbom na akyew ɛboro no I say wo fi prison hɔ nom no bibia no wabɛtuma yɛ afa ho mmara bia ntimi ne ɔmo ni nti sɛ ɔmo abo no ɔmo afa ɔmo ho adi kwa a wo so yɛ lawyer fi sɛ ɔmo sɛ yɛnua bi mu bi mkoma ɔmo nyɛ lawyers ɔmo anunduru baabia na wo yɛ lawyer wo so kɔ face bi ehu no mmara bia ntimi ne ɔmo ni ɔmo abo afa ɔmo ho adi free ɛnam pɛsɛ mi hu
sorry me da say my mema example bi tama ye che me no me call da cells ho no na you know first 48 hours na say di mmara so ye de me call court enim 48 hours no police for na anya ye de me call say de me call court massem no betimi di massem no police for na anya e de me call court no ka chem say untimi nyem ho hwe je so sorry man de me biom aya di police for no eye no da na me ko do cells for na me hwe nkrofo mo wo na nkrofo ni die na nkrofo dem over 12 days 14 days ni inform ko court camera se 48 hours e de mo court na me decide say me de me ho bet de hia me de betu nchen me apply for bail ma me ho me chi assembly me sui police no akodu Supreme Court tema na ena no na me ye police for no be serve me order say me phone no me bie me phone na no na omko hwehwe say crime wo mu a normally no enya de a you know mrama ho kwan process order na betimi dia breme me decide say me challenge sa order no na me even say me challenge na me say police for no kra no ye tie me cause that because omko for terrorism act law echo high court echo be another order mpo na me challenge we work court but the current me challenge ni say na mra no be ye clarified ma obi dachi obi so bitime gina so aka no akire police for na asema obi sa me ni die me call mu nyina no from day na if you answer me pie no mpo no na me lawyers are drafted you know for SAB sue police na sue na sue police no ye da so a ye be ko yenim a ye sue police no wo ho se ne be fa so atwe nkrofo aso wo ho ye no na se ye ko Ghana cost na Ghana no kra eni ni a ye plan se be ko akosi African Union court because enye se me ya ma me ho me ye for that chance 70 se no obi fa situation se na mra no court a clarify no afeni na omuso mu hu intendo de miniaba men ye enjai kra ye be kopa a yesu omo ewo ho
okay na ne wo ka asem bi wo ntimi fa sa akwache bi nto asoma na scenario aso so mrem Okay, set them out do one, go share a man for how I know more prison when to decide say, pay bail, won't go apply for bail. The time I was something by a genome baby, and I can be more be a casa, or Mocassi a 2 weeks in Palmera. You better 2 weeks near say, you knew your side and never two. Now, may they hit you company for me. I worried. It's a man. Obi ma comment to be say, who said, my hand now starting a Jumaya OD because of the freedom fighters. Yes, yesterday I can say, into a tear. I was yes, you look room. Into a panic chance here, but can't say, oh, support the day, and apart from a term I did non support by Juman and Seminar Canadian, meaning I was support to. Now, also a judge. I hope so. What's some no more no or can't some no. Into a pass and people say, ah, Papa no crime was what I was saying, or support to when I say, and no live a crack or no crack can be, no so more live a beno. Into my actually papa knows there be a running a day, Juma. Only by now apply for bail. Into so on apply, yeah. Yet me money bail. Into what's me okay, and I'm to say, was I clear on my own say, a woman, and now pay bail, and I was a one. And yet, you judge upon an more delay with honum, na young 1 year. So almost an delay when I young.
Osajifo yedoma hene medanase na bail amenya ye no onam ono no so nanaso na menya sa bail na nim na kodae na ebia one day ono so beka nasem won krofududu o mo frɛ no se mama ne mami bail no one day ebia ono so beka nasem na da na o mami bail no pono catch them say massive 2 days ni on nine. Court honor reporters no kasa point one can you nancy at currently non down case no. In the one day or no so bekan or bekan I may bomb say you know say be na nyama musisa or no bye Chief Justice Ukruma. Ghana because ntiase owo ma mra ntiase owo ma edwuma ye ni ekwan esi ye faso na ekwan ye kun na ye judiciary pom moayen no na ehu no sa ye judge ka ho no e bon pa say one day wa be Chief Justice wo Ghana me decide say me apply for me bail because say na me ko hu nkrofo was that situation no na be ya me ya say immediately me yi me ho afi sa situation them a jankrofo ho nti me decide say wo hwe ye court system na sa de na police for ye no and no account ma sa yi na ye de call akọ Supreme Court no refuse some nti asem no a ka sa dana at least nipa 10,000 or your cells come be.
Wow.
So me this me could pay hono, you know, I know the situation conditions na a woman no terrible, but me catch them say Ghana for na wahano. Ghana for team as long as Ankrofoti hane de me so me da brain ni. Enti me tena homa, me lawyers na apply ya ko see Supreme Court. As Supreme Court refuses on tie. And so na me I apply for bail ama me ho. Na two things are na da me ni so ni say one, na ye mfidi Nkrofo wo cells ho. Na me call cells ho no. Na me sell me na me adopting Nkrofo a na mema ska na de bia ye aduane bra anopa ewiane anajo ye aduane bra ba ma be feeding Nkrofo ourselves so the be too many so say me pia the issue say ye feeding Nkrofo ourselves no me taking it up and no na nam so a ye be ye feed the country ye be ye fundraising say ye ko feed inmates na police for no or Minister of Security National Security fair police for no someone wonje ye donation no. But almost someone did donation. The police for no release statement. Ka say, and you know, crane make an air feed inmate. Make us say no, Nansemo, Ashama police station. Obi omoche no, they come so abewu a crash or cells we afa home. Asem no, ye de call out a bisa police for some maye. Budgeta omunya from 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Omu di feed inmates no. Omu releases information. No maye yenhwe but 3 weeks ni omo respond here mrama won some respond here in 2 weeks it's about man say omo ye bi some no man maye a ye be escalate no to Inspector General of Police IGP ni say the same request akoto ni on so 2 weeks yeah no so yeah so mo anya ye de omo call right to information commission na no kra wo hom no na Ghana fo nyine ehu na me masem na me de kɔ no so no me de inmates ni bi nso asem no bɛka ho about some mesue police no what the fact say otimi chiro bi now the che ho now che ne come for how long and so ye de bɛka ho bi inmates na me ko share no say no kra no ebinu ma gibela ma mo dada e chena Monday kra me court a me represent ebinu mu a me ko share mo e wo Ashaman cells so into my tell na me no me na me decide say me ye activist na me say me ye freedom fighter say ma ko pisa situation nim no na de dia me nim so ne say me contact me prison system na ye no say improve system no na enfam enam me so na system no improve eno ho adwuma na matumi ho a me ye sese ya
Okay.
Your mama e beda say and na me nua ba shine your eyes me da say no wabotre no wadaje me pacho also question bi o how person o de ma nua be ma Oliver pacho bitima manako
yo em say de di kan no meda tiefo nyina ase ona watimi abo wo ho mode ahye program no ye do ma se pa nyame hira wo bibia na me call Mr. Oliver so de di kan no Ghana for edana se papa ene nkodene a wako ede am wo man Ghana ena em say tiefo a wo dwumadi su nyina atie dia wako famu enam Ghana ma Ghana hodo da chinchirima wo mu ba ehodo bra wa bra ne ye nyina ya yeden yate senkaka wono nko a se da mama di kaka ye no woni bibidi ko ha no ho kra se wo ba akofa sa situation wi abra wo mu chirem tie nyina ye di adanke se no mafi banko betima tena ne baabi edi ni dwuma a onfo bibia enti no yada na se pa aposifo a anka wo mu no eye wo ma sade me ade ensem bi se koso a ade ba kwa ya na eye maja se omanya yetimu oman bi abekoso so oman bi abeye yi a efiri ahoban bofo aposifo ene asrafo a omu baji ato wo mu ho so edi dwuma pa na omu bema pepepe ye akoso ewo man ni mu no wo mum antimi angina amfama oman Ghana na yenu ya be me bo no wodere senko obekon kodre de am oman no obekasa afasa enema ekoso yina biom de abesoa ehiafo so ko obekasa ama ebi aka sankofuo we wo mabusuafo because mugu abo police aso ye ho no no mabusuafo nyina ebre ena yebetie ni ekum nipa bra boss say oman no bibia akoso wo oman ni mu enti Mr. Oliver nkodina anka wo ko no osifo na ntimi antena se anwene ho ahu se saa kun we na wo ko no wo ko ama wo mu nyina akọ ma wo nchirima am wo manfo do support instead no wo mu ye wo madwene se wo mu bebre na se kakra wo mu no wo mu bedie order from above se wo ban nyansa na wo ma fa wo mu ahoɔden no wo madwene amboa wo man Ghana wo mu yi wo madwene so wo mbekɔso abre nipa bi mu a wo mu do atu wo mu asi wo se wo mu bɛko a ama wo man no wo mu betata wo mu dia eni wo mu nkan hunu se 5 years time 10 years time no se yenya obi a nani da hɔ waya patriotic a oba be di wo man so ama enshira ni bia beka obi ene omu kan hu se saa time obi abefa ne bag ayede adwane efi wo man Ghana mu na me question kakra am se me wo ma Mr. Oliver ne say enti no ampasa tese no obi e kasa wo mu se yensesa emra no constitution no yensesa no enti no saa emra no yensesa no a ebeye yi ana because last time no obi ni me di nkomo eni pa no frame ya no ni me di nkomo no okase constitution na freedom fighters in the country for ye solid bia ye say omu nsisa no enya ade e da fom enya easy se obi be sisa enti se wo ba na we wa adwene se wo ba be sisa mela na wan hwe a wunya kwan yede Emma mpo no wa ba ye de aba system. Enti no me pese me busa me Oliver so wakoya melanim so obi ba no wo pepa se obesesa emelanim a ekwan da wo se enipa no etimi sesa na.
Yeah, Mr. Oliver, over to you.
First of all, no, one of the things that Constitution Review Commission, our Professor Mills addressed, for a very long time, no, survey beyond 80 to almost between 80 to 90% of Ghanaians say almost so say a constitution who be. Ghana for do na nim say a constitution no problem wo ho. Na say ye panyifo mu ye yi omo no ade dom ni so anase de so mo ye na say de Ghana for pe na so mo ye a first of all dey no mo enye de Ghana for pe. Secondly, no one of the things I mean yaka to this point me say it's very easy to change. The question is, how do we change it? The question is how do we change it? The Moka say, Omukan say an amendment, and I said, this is a constitution. Na Emma Yaman ye mayeno, and I say within the correct time because they decided to say, one by one, sending son of Mokana. And then over 600 years, no take it. Say, Yamano. See a fact, the Constitution Review Commission and Kwakai and Pony and Fire new ones and Kahua. The second thing is that for Constitution amendment process, no me Constitution Review Commission and America. One of the discussions and then here in the commission, and say ye propose be na a year a bit Ghana for na Ghana for no Buduru na Jituma. One of the questions na commission e bisa won say na dey way you recommend here leaders you media to muni. The reason is say you create a constitution review commission no omo ye ne said ye be produce a report 1,000-page report ni be ye no e advice keke e man panyifo into mo pa no mo gitum omo mpa no mo aboegu into man ye say commission ankasa no decide say e bia na yantete ade ne so a omo no empene so. See, and no fee only decided, say, you bring your constitution here, the call referendum straight there. The majority of Ghanaians would vote for Adepa. Example, they say, you Nanakufuado creating regions, regions, who create a so-called referendum. I'm going to referendum, no, over 90% is to Musayen Kriti Oti region, Western North, all the other regions, there are 6 regions there you create. So it depends on sending a choir person here the first one you creating. So okay, so by any thing and another working. No, see party NDC MPP in some district assembly level now. Ghana for no be to go. But so okay said as Gracia ni empenu yen fi ho. Ghana sika ni yenya no yemfa dodo no nko local level. Na local no yetimi manage senia uni kwan a uni hospital na and yes, mo trying minister be no this canabro. Scano ewo district level no. Na hona se mutimi ye adwuma na. Ghana for do no befo aso. So changes need here ewo ho bebre. But the problem is say mema example. Current system ayewe National Health Insurance Levy. Yejeje ye de bia to ye etuye. Scano munya ye no nanado aban. Omo de 3% pen call health insurance for her. Scana aka no omodi. Into so be kwa yare sabia scanner ye de be improve your hospitals scanner ye de be to nro amankrofono say scanner ya fedi constitution no anya hwea stop you from doing that. Your constitution can man say come yes sana causing financial loss to the states ubeko wako them asade we omunye the constitution no say omoma local assemblies no a percentage of your revenue nyina sa percentage no omomfanko the district necessary omotuto no na Accra for no mama contract no Accra no ma obi the contract am obi say to cars yemfanko districts. Nascan ya spending on national level. And no na your villages nin tumpon, and no na your grow nan grofun in a film Accra because politicians need to be a go Accra. Constitution no man kwan. Ti nyama bi wo why ti bi ti sano. And you say ka say yes constitution is sano for no reason yes sano kwa. Nyama bi wo ho abuta bi nyama bi wo ho da ye ni so say ti mi sano fa. Na ohwe conversation na nkofo man de bia na. Sa nyama na high no mom no ye no mon discuss here no. So you know, the truth is, mrebie ni ho a ye di si ho a no because obedi onni mra no so obetimi nya mra na kasa betimi asori epegya no ho se me ame be enforce me ho nipa na be enforce mra no. But one of the examples I man say what be dream mra ho creatively senior be ma ho kwan senior ye enforce mra no direct. Sorry, example ni say yen nuanom omo sal san trophy akpafo lolobi na lipe ye yi omo film se ne MPP pe MP ewo voter region nti last day catch them omo nto abani bi then affect the country yeah se anu ye be petition say ye nyi electoral commissioner ni fi ho bibi wo constitution ma e ma ho kwan ma yetimi ye bibi fa ho enye say e complain keke. But it may be direct. So be direct wo ho na ebia California wo be friend recall elections. Say uko yi wa MP na onye adwuma na mutime trigger recall ya be friend back ye mpenu biom. Ye wonyama nkete bi wo yi be promise bi na wanya. What mechanism can you take? Ye tibi de nyama no bebre hihye constitution nim. Say ne so mo so monye adwuma ne po a people na kasa no be trigger process no directly. And then you can say, you between the Marana Chichin of say ye, so that say institutions na nye Jumanaka, the people know better mean Yahu Kwaya Yamana direct. And no San Jamano ne pese the constitution. You know, that's what we are talking about.
Okay.
That's it. Me pacho we there. Minko Mr. Doctor, Mr. So my uncle in your bar sugar sweater. Madam we do me da intimi fa ne kakra na da ye de yento komo so. Me ya ba sugar me mo akwa ba ba free ma so.
Sugar oh mute.
Frema me da se mpacho te menka.
Ah fi de yete on papa man komonko. Wo question bi ma Oliver ana.
I'm a question be man na we de mesre asema beto mo fan cheme na mo amunim say adwuma se me ya Mr. Oliver. Emra, Yadiki Adawa said back door, and I just want to say thank you, Amount for him, for what you did and not giving up because I'll give you up and wama yen sexy form. And secondly, so over out, one man may yet to say a chill they want you to keep your mouth shut. And Kauba is saying Kauba can one want to you will not mind, but still now you are still pushing, say we should do an interview and all that. We just want to say thank you. But my question, Abrana, Udemono question be minim says Yabusa will cry. I am so sorry, say man joining earlier. Udemono and Samana Yabusa Abronye DC Munina ba out. Say, we are Mahama, John Dramani Mahama Akoda, John Dramani Mahama office, now we are Jumama, or Mepesa Hono, Okle, Emma Manfu, Hono, I see, because ye name say, Abronye di Sinisa, hopeless adoya, or hope sin adoy and the rest, no muditro, the Ghana phobia and crophobia, Omunyati Asemba Qua. And no, they don't judge from two sides. Who said this is what another side they can win another city say over to me. I explain it when I'm my kakra and Kiani Bejon and I'm a demand no no. I know sister wife when you share ya persia dana say a bra would them so fiancé so wife for your dana say would you know which na when you wama obaya or that's the team home. So Mr. Oliver, near me wama one. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Mekramo, mesh back door. All right.
Martin, sugar. First of all, I mean, can say sugar. Every time they have a program, no na oye juma. Juma they obori ye pa. Me bon pa ise Ghana photo do ananso e benye juma sa na chese. De bi anso e benye juma sa ni aye bi. You know, one of the things I had na esisi me so I am bisa me ho say nti Ghana for dodo na hwe obi ti say abronye na abronye kasa a ye gine ye fan serious a ye di si ye ni so ene ye dwuma na ebe che o se ti me for obi ti say abronye serious pa na se bia de bia frema shows ba na se ne obi enkofo ani na de abronye beka na de nyina to the same level dia ye dwuma na ebe che pa. You know, Abronya can your kind, no, and in fact, and your first time or kind, yes, share face the country. I said, no, or interviews be brave. Say me na me presidential staffer, na me $20,000. No hukro, or can be brave. In the beginning, you know, me consider I say, should I sue him? And I came to realize, say, or Nicky in Japan, a Jumo Muya, no. Only say, you know, Ghana or the court or the assembly court. The whole, even if you win, what can go mother that? Then yes, we do the two. Oh, me say my lawyer name, the assembly court no be expect this assembly. Me can't answer publicly. Only the can and they will continue doing that. So we debated it back and forth. Or the same thing right here. You know, if you're a dog catching or you're flying to Dubai, why, new crow. You're discussing here as to whether or not suing the person is the best option. And they decided to say we won't sue it. But one of the things I did, and they said, I know, say, there's nothing better than the truth itself. So, Nami Yejuma, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Nami, you know, I was one of Ghana's diplomats. They trained me as a diplomat. And during the period now, Professor Mills, Mahama office, no, I was working in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs till 2015. And I'm resigning here, and I'm a call. And I left for Miko Harvard. Now, one of the things I decided to do is me pay slips from all those periods that me be chair coin. And then I went and I was able to get all that pay slip. Because Okachire Nkrofo me just sent $20,000 for my time and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Even though I was a diplomat of this country. Now me aketua between 800 and 1,000 Ghana cedis. In fact, I was teaching as a adjunct lecturer Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center. Oh, let me train international law. Those are some of the things I was doing to supplement my own income. And yet, you know, because before I joined, I was private consulting. So there was no point I received from this government or the past government or anybody any amount at Noka. But there was one thing which I didn't talk about. And I brought any arrestee no. Me release a press statement from police cells. In fact, no grammar, a CIGP said I should stop giving a press statement and making the government look bad. The press statement na me issue, you know. I disclosed for the first time, say, when you're in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, no, I will be a friend of Foreign Service liaison officer between the presidency and the foreign ministry. And the liaison officer, and because the ministry, the presidency, you know, almost receive diplomats, you know, you need to be our diplomatic training to be able to advise them. And so in the ministry, at the presidency, you know, you was civil service, no, so you don't know them. They are not presidential staffers. So I received a letter from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And at the time, no, not the director of administration. Lady Ambassador Mercy Deborah. To say Mercy Deborah no Mercy Deborah Kakari, I think. The secretary to the president's cabinet, Nanado cabinet. I received a letter from her as director of administration. Say officers near you know to me and Obifufro will be the foreign service officers. They acting as liaison between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and AE. And so I should report to the director of civil service then at the presidency. And so the whole period, nobody knew that I was working for the civil service. And so Mbappe disclosed this information. And I called on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, say they can take the rare and extraordinary steps, some issue statement. And saying, what was I doing? That I was a civil servant. And at every point throughout my time, you know, I was on my civil servant salary. Beyond that, Ma say, if the president appoint presidential staffers, I saw the copy of the list, Eco Parliament. Okay, we won't say bedroom maybe president. Now appointed over 971, 900 and say no presidential staffers. A list of all those individuals the president must disclose to Parliament. Because to me, what's my Parliament call their archives to retrieve every list that Mahama at the core president at the core Parliament as who the presidential staffers are. We go into the meeting. And all these things I gave it to, I gave it to the media. I didn't publish on it. In fact, the BBC, when the BBC spoke to me, Mami Elizabeth Ohene wrote to them also claiming, say, I've worked for 2 former presidents. They have the BBC in responding to her, have copies of my service record with a because being I won't even engage him in a conversation. But the most important thing is, society be all kind same way. How long have we been in face the country? Obika journalists been put by investigative journalist and go and investigate these things. But say maybe this who says I would have to have my service record to be able to show. So no, at no point was I a presidential staffer or Mahama administration. I was a civil servant reported to the civil service and foreign affairs. And maybe if I needed to do anything, I needed clearance from the foreign affairs before I resigned and left the country.
Story by that say, with the dog only Nana Shady and Siam also. Na Ejanana, Yamon Kwan answer Dr. Bekwansan and Nana Shady. Yama Nana Shady, miss the question. Okay, Nana Shady, any patcho, so what question, Mr. Oliver Manenko?
Yo, many guy actually I would say for now my freedom fighters, my boy Juma, Oliver, and I know any encounter. You see for free the country for Chiamo. Now I think that we need to. I was say, you know, not boss ye. You know, maybe boss ye. Touch yet touch Oliver. I think that I was say, you PA. At the Costa America, say. Many of them, no one ever to know. You name that about to my president, Dr. Ren. You name that be an shady, maybe into my baby, about to me. You name that be an Frema City, oh Bagana. Now they be a would say, why do you move from them? Not being so, and I said, Uncle Fuyabi, as I said, that means, in case like this, you said Dr. Ren, China, yeah, what could teach Dr. Ren, yem, oh. Ye kwatiti into show Dr. Ren so ewo ye kwa ye na yakaya kwa tata ni that means sane ma we nya de ye nua Oliver mini anom aja ye de ye Oliver no me hu ni say I had ketwa saa ma tra ho na me ye de me jot ni o na I'm giving clients enti aje we nyina na o ye den frame ana still no he is still the man na Oliver ye be ma me say me be ma but enemy two chairman sorry me two chairman. Hey, Saturday way and the yen or airport war. And to most time, a bit me out to me. One thing about me now, I am the man who said, Obishu. Mama, funny, easy, anti things say you would do my and we need to speak about things like this. I don't know one other can. Mensa Thompson, as a pa, me men call Gasco. Many and Mensa Thompson in the Asepa, men on the call in America. And many other people are yet see on my to tell Abba. Now I say, for beyond and yet so near to Chawa, I am normal. Many are very bad. Now Oliver, make us an unknown and Coso and Cow because say wait and away your mouth face the country and freedom fighters at the art. And no man count who not almost shouting. If you don't put him say that you say, you can say the Beche one and over police station and you don't go to cells. Now cells for them, Sister Frema, make one boy and you may be a cost was cells or I think say, Sunday morning, you know, yeah, president, and then because I know you usually one by one because first interview I might say, or say, baby, I guess say one more please in one on, no baby, one more done, like I say, young movie, be our Sabio Muntie, one city, and now say, but it'll be no Korea yet. Na e come and a dino, but o se baby ya di ba say no almost so sardine o se baby to sardine. These things are all going on. Many anom ye and me ra ko na mesa ka se Oliver na nanom enhyira o menim se saa nneema we menim da se saa nneema we pa ana wo fe mu na ka yesa bia anka ebias yenom bi mu no se bia anka ye ku ye ho no ebia anka be ku ye ho mo be bia na me ka kire wo se yenim se saa nneema we ne bobo etietia wo ana Jesus Christ. And this is an example. Me the bia me ka se me nua se bibi se ensi ya aya na me hu se ye adwuma you agree with me. Things like this must happen. Anna, I was so obi. Yenkumio. Moja bi nwe I don't still believe sent on aye yendru baby. Se moja bi enhwe ngu am Bible ne say Boniface we emba. Enti ye ne ayafo ye ho say freedom fighters me nuanom. Say ne dey Oliver o. Me me dey ne say me mbu say Oliver question bibia. Me dey ne say are we ready? Yenya ya say freedom fighters I say internet national san nyoma we ya of free na bro chi ba ya no sabi Dr. Ren also ba be ye bia ma ya na me ni question bia ma Oliver I have to for ourselves and now say yes ye dey abro na ye ba be di dipenya Ghana ye thing it is a sibia Ghana ye din no na say mo say ye no mu bi say ye gina field no so a enti me see this week na make say commode me no it hasn't been easy me nuanom. It hasn't been easy with some of us. It hasn't been easy. When you na Oliver Fremu or some hunger strike. See, Sebio me and fitting echo me jam of Fidian so say you nyamku Sebio me that it used to be OJ freedom fighters and or see a dear in some people say Oliver has done the work of a cry for freedom fighters and free face the country. But the man be say
that's it in your man and shady back the shady media no and your night jamima me akasa president president back pay Dr. Red Bacho who a question be my in your bema Oliver
mini aba am say ebeda ase na yeda enyina ase mesen na shady so be meeting wo kakari amami am say me feedback wa na me da ase na akasa ebeko so ada yenyina ye ho ase ye chitafo amoda so amota ye chi ye gina so e kobe 2 hours questions are from obisa yen so emuda ho to asumu kama me gidi se Oliver de eja yenyina adwuma no na ye no freedom fighters ye fix the country yen ye dano ye kasama ekuo no eja yen ye ko age wo man no na de ewom no enie utie nsem a ye bra fam a nsem a ebu nipa spirit ebu nipa abem na we ma meti ase se ekufo ade obi a we ohufo bia no de bia no de ode ye ni opponent ni se obebu na bem na waye na yakayaka de na wetietia no so na shebibi nso ha sei o me say ono na ya igbeni no omudi ne tribe atem. This is not the first time. City News reporter Caleb National Security and Sasso ni mu omudi ne tribe nyina atem. Oh baby ade no eko. You see, the President Akufo-Addo is a divisionist or a propagandist or an inferior person. It is when you to me be no percent one more osusu say sebio omo bobre e was rosen ne de no person o kan wo mo hye Akufo-Addo wan call law school be awie ti wo obi ti say Oliver instead say ko be join no we tie wisdom no wage wisdom no na Oliver be dan na tamfo na ka e den no bi ka say fix the country if ye yensie if na obu afu. It is an hypocrite, enemy of the state. And it's an hypocrite, and on G or mine or would be on G. Now, in the first place, they didn't obey a president. Obey a president, say, obey my problems, and also be fix your problems. So you see, clearly, no, it tells you the character of the president, Akufo-Addo. Now, ye din komono, wa mo share, no, we see a bro, the 12 disciples. Would you emphasize the principle of Bible no cry near you? Why don't we share the message? Mami bi a onim Facebook mu, why don't you do voice note bi na mfa send no? Adenti na we invite you obi a wote wo kura bi ase. O community a wote. Mrs. Yesi ye pen nkofo omudu omo beka se Dr. Rene ye maboa nkofo edu dunum 20 30 miensa me come on sam pano akere wo mo. Se mebunu no aba na se yenji wo man ni nso ne ye ho nto yen. Yen use principle of Bible. Umwa na eja invite na shade no akoma speech kakra umwa na invite Oliver. These are some of the things we need to do. The antina make us TBA. The riches of Babylon were the result of the wisdom of its people. What's Babylon? Babylon. London, yeah. Sikanwa Babylon in ya as a result of nyansani nimdia na krumma for no ewo. And unti baby adwene ni nya adwuma no body near day ebre. It is a Ghana ye ebre de just ya adwene nya adwuma nipa domo no adwene ni nya adwuma. Nti efiri na ko mo ya adwene nya adwuma. Yendo wo man no yensom wo man no. Eno ana me de besia. Na me say nkomo ne de bebre wo because yen hye so ye bo no for 5 hours. Tie ani yem. The catcher so ya igbeni, just igbeni de onye nipa. And so emra ni ye je fan wudie no kwa me nkroma na the main person ya igbeni. E kine bi ye de asem ne beto aso na ene de aye Olivanti ye de besie ya. Me da mu nyina amase.
Yo na me so medasi meda freedom fighters so bibia se na me nua be ma Oliver medasi bebre. Me nim se edafo from mesa to mensa fro nana she de amanensa so nana mame ma onka se bia na nana no be.
Nana no ma be mampa. Ye kasa so ye mo kasa no na me wan ma na me iti nti me jote neoma. Nsema na Oliver kan neoma me fa free ma me je say I think say we need to push it na ebe help it. Oliver, Mr. Pa, let me give an example. Indra, Mekosia, Mr. Entry, on also you face the country, Chiban Kwa, obviously, or to send $1 be near the tree of Kumase. Now, Mekosia, no, na Sebi, obey due being the coy, na I was up for Unqua. Atadia, and a man, then made the coy, to whom we now say, back home, macho man be, hey, Mona, we face the country, no. I want to say, Oliver, you perceive the pa, Oliver, you good pa. Sabio, I didn't buy now, especially buy now, like Casta was radio stations, you know. Man, let me tell you, you see, no, in penny phobia. I will buy a crown movie. No prayer back, okay. Will be a free in the fear about police station. I walk, and he was waiting for a friend say, Oliver, balloon nature picture, okay. And the message say, third party. These are some of the things we need to start. Oliver Muna Uncle radio stations. Maybe especially I say, internet, they don't know anything about it. May say, I will always say, they don't know anything about freedom fighters. They don't only be about face the country. I have faith. Oliver Baya call radio stations. I've seen improvement, baby. I've seen improvement from people say, hey, sa kwano sa na dey say oye obey cool me call hini fie yi na me fenche radio ma me kan wo show yi na me ko say face the country atade na ye gina ohemfo nyina enim na ye introduce ye ho na me ko ka say me ye face the country convener ohini premu no e wonim say unima anka wa anka say who free face the country me no me ka say ya bo nsim ni ba tere ka say what you say? That means and other dignitaries, but they don't even understand. We are backed by a political party, which is NDC. But that's how they were enslaved. So I think that we need to go on the radio stations, TV stations, they won't fire. But one to be on by a special obuase, Number 2, Oliver, a question about I don't know the one or say about the president or stand the president now. The customer can say
Parliament.
Very good. Okay, so he thinks say we should build from the parliament. Meaning, this is something I've always been preaching. Sir, parliament hono at least ye build free ho na sebio ma me fa me ho nye example na shey di me se me wo boase me shey ya free the country ye di pay for atemi na me ba na me ka kire wo mo say me ye wo road na ma wo mo na sebi me ba na me road na ma wo ma what is going to happen over there now the change of mind say okay and crown they mean what they said sebi yenya Oliver baby e she wan corner bi na just imagine Osajefo Oliver Barker-vamawor in the Parliament House. Now, say we should change the constitution. And then all the men on. And Mr. President, say Oliver Sebi, I will use him as an example. Okodi baby no boy Jumana, Jumano Puna Subatica Afi, Dana Pona because the guy is changing. So let's push him to the president there. And I say, Dr. Ren Brafi, Madame Debbie, Brafina, or constitution, Korea baby, Master. And yes, cow, I don't think all about Sikabia, all my Edubia, or Skabiana, Minimana. Maybe I'm fun to go away. I don't think someone was a couple Prubi. So we don't need money to come to Ghana. And I said, let me need BBA. I think Dr. Rain must come down. On that baby, I'm a tata. Is a man, you know. We have got starting Juma or and see number 20. Parliament, you know, Mamuti, you know, Mumefa and no any at the back. Number 3, people were very happy. Said Oliver Ekachi, program. I say, made a field marshal. I'm on for Trotro. Hey, Oliver, someone in Chica, you are speaking. I say, yeah, I never say I can't cheat here, but majority of the people, cheat no more can't. Me really comment, you know, me say improvement. And if you ever say, Oliver, president, on our vanity, about the constitution, no. I think I don't know. She makes my baby start a chain for school. Number 4 ways to catch in pain phobia mudi musika. Name mo basi e kabom ya na say the third party ever no. Sande ma we go sika na wa brochiwa. Mo start to schools. We need to rebuild something now. We will fight them but intellect. Mo business, mo be school na mo dey mo for constitution ni enhyem sabi edwuma bia na nya na betimi akon but some generations are coming. We need to improve these things in them. It is some more schools, more scaffolding, more schools. More yeah, more for boy be shona na shade more from member. Then say ya mama ni amane na ye nja ise sebio. Yesu ba beji obi nkwa, Yesu beji bi nkwa da. Ya tena ha ana ye na ya fight. Ani say ye kwachi Oliver ya bo say Yesu. Mr. Mo, these are some of the things I enjoy into Oliver. So first give it my build schools be ya fa enkura no ye ne mba no. Because I don't want my child to go to Presbyterian school again. But oh yeah, then go back to school na Presbyterian be see ye. No, heaven or beginning. Mr. And also another balcon. And strictly, and Troy and Oliver Osajefo or say lawyer name free war. Osajefo Oliver Barker-vamawor 2020 2024 I was like 100 years Mr. Yen I about Tauchi Ma Muslim about a third force. Yet every parliament. Yan try Oliver. And not the air strength. So you have started and also a friend say a yam of course. I don't know, maybe a show, Munim the airport, ya couldn't talk on the ya could be and now ya church of petition, maybe. Minia, you require a whoosh no can ever open. The culture, you require a whoosh, you be as an ebane, one of me, about a duck home. Na in Tiamwa and the Brian Ebesram and Minisika also Oliver Yasai Sika Butum as a moment of Faka. And the problem was also three. Miniano, no can ever catch them, Oliver. Mr. Boys, we may want to make out a 2-hour in a Cassa, Opro Wumpo, yes, Shepherd, got a cancer. Yansa, we also go and think about it. Go and think about it. I even said another person that I say you can lead because you can send me maybe passing to or say ya na constitution ni ya na face the country for who say agina he or point say na say yampu ekodi ho no ma na ye be di amansika and this is honest man wa fa no say ya won nchen e ya mpan so na na say me ko dance e gra she ye ko bo 5 billion me na me say mo beto me a me sika no sika ye moja o into constitution no Oliver say wonim ho ntokwa de a ene starting now na yanko head be just imagine me dey say so just a side and perform so no so free and this no back on omo ina say send message mo just a sign money Xavier mo munjai sa NBC nyoma no free wona mumbra youth no stay near da ho me sa fa kon we so catch bia say oboase wonim obia wo boase a tie mutie nie mon kan che boase fo nyina obia wo tu kwan bia wombra fie ye ba beji adwuma ama boase fo because ya tena ha my commode ye first one ye call ye ne ohene no osema me ye demonstration no kana ka de besi wo boase say no e bia nka be nyan eno nti ye di enidie ama ye ohene because ohene ana ye den eka echi osi ye njai bibia ama no obekọ yakosam ama no ubesi ye nyamisuro ana tete ye nti ye di enidie ama ohene na emom ohene ema ye at least ultimatum 2 weeks say ono ana besi no nti onye oye ejuma aiden ama ye nana okoji amai Mr. said the other ones are so many. Be gina fidie so apa wacha ma munim no for me na hene Mr. Mo empefo bitie Mr. Mo kan say said the boys no mu tia bomu na komo e de wo mo no say 2 weeks no o man te asem da je besi boase no me say je besi boase no e bia na anya fe because ye beka say AGA ye ne de ebuo e ma ye hene no eni nti ne jai demonstration na ba ba ye enti say AGA no wan fo buo ama ye hene dia na ye ne no de ombuye enti den e beta kire ne say ene ye gi asase ana ye no mu nye dwuma wo boase bi awoni mo boase bi ya mo kan tira wo mo say de eni abre na ekomode ye no ye metena ma ekom me sa e ma enipa me say me fo bi e me fo ska wa me nua ekomode ye me de ma no besi
me das nana shedi na nomba ne so sadia andronim kra yo ansa na meja mi nua bema Oliver amana ko ne nua ba otiaba TV adwane ye otiaba Mr. Bebre wo question bi de ma ye nua bema Oliver pacho manenko me pacho yente won ka mi nua ba otio
me pa mo chamo te me nka sese ya
afide yete nana shedi pacho ya no meet wo na mame
yo Oliver ngame shroud Bebre because for a young, strong, energetic, charismatic, wise man like you, and what fat it my way at all. So no, we babies are say, I didn't see a young man the on using the life and find a baby. You know, Ghana no. Ye na ye nim say Ghana for sebi pesemin kuminya. Ghana for ent na honum endrin nyonko Ghana ni hu na mo bedwe foreigner na waba fie waba Ghana kromu honum ne hu obeye papa ama foreigner but on dream say onye papa man the krom ni na say the krom many no ne tie no na ema me bo aba so because as a young man na once na honum anka say you know, let me just use my life for something very tangible in life. Na me nche me man na me jere and I'm a girlfriend. Na we two life we see say wo boa Ghana no. Nyame nhyira because de wakom de wo kom de wo gusu e kom wo Ghana no. Se won ko sati bia ni mu da wo be feel say it was easy. And I say it's easy. Na eya na metsa ha me dwen ho say Sebi Ghana mpanimfo ya brofo. Omo ya bro. I mean comfort na obi anti bi. Ghana mpanimfo ya bor, abor. Kapede. Se azeno oida was to be oida. One fun to ho na we fra to ansana. Wa dwene ho de azi ye hunu ya nche ye fun to ye. Emebuni ya sora ye kasa sisi ya ye Ghana won daache. These people, when we're through there, that should be 5, 6, 7 years that we will call. But Abia, the energetic, charismatic, powerful, outspoken young men with energy, with all the intelligence, no, are going to be the ones that actually will be doing one of them. Oh yeah, me here there in Ghana and paying food. Do they still think about it? Do they think about us? Oh, worry ye be no way we are quackada. Worry ye, no way, Zimawaka, no way, Wuna wakada. Namawaki, Chiniha, ya offend for you. Say Ghana, Nick Ghana, here one, Nick can call, or do you was it. What does it mean? Ghana has to be your priority, your first priority in life. It's asa. We don't have to sit down and wait for some obroni bi fini krom ha some abaye Ghana ye. Na ya kade odamazi or you very good na yen follow. Why can't we support Yankasa Yeni youth now? Why can't Ghanaians support them? Somebody like Oliver will devote the life just to do the right thing for Ghana, just to speak for the less privileged in Ghana, just to speak for the underprivileged, the ones that don't count in Ghana. Why can't Ghanaians support this young man? And it's so sad that when you look at another kasa, Obaba catch there in Boise, when you're on Shazi, a cousin pay for name, as a sow herba, share, so be uncle papa and jicred. Say bribi uncle papa and jicred. I didn't not Ghana penny for what's na honum, at the tomb from among Kola and then Kola, as I say, a trouble answer. What is going on? Frema, Ghana for Omonia Bray like that. Ghana for, do they really crave for the goodness in life like that? Ghana for adia eya sa me pese mi busa sa asem because if not, then we are fighting in vain. Say Ghana for adia eya and they are not craving and yearning for the goodness in life. Not to say we are fighting in vain. This is the question I want you, Frema, to ask Ghanaians to say, are they really happy in the situation they found themselves in? And now say, do they really crave and yearn for the goodness in life? Santisadia, and can almost any freedom fighter or to the platform, so and also fix the country near to the platform, so air casa, almost near and can't say, maybe. I don't think say a Juman is a first shovel. Any pickers, a see what Atua Betty. Now, what the Namna Wu ye, Juma. Mingasha and Unquani, Juma. A Juma means we have to speak for the country, not a free mono. Yes, my baba naturalized to America. But at said the Krana, me bush and Fogu Ghana, me call Ghana. From time to time, it's Ghana for your bush and for no mugu honomono. Are they ready for the goodness that Ghana comes with? Kasa youth no air kasa no. Do they hear? And answer a party sem and I do cruel, said Jimmy. Sister, Cape Coast, Mimi free Cape Coast, every Takradi free, we can say Eastern region. Na Monenka, 7 months, not Cape Coast all my life. It's a Cape Coast now, it's not here. No, I buy beer, but beer and fat beer and Cape Coast for because I'm for some way for. What's you say? Na what try Asha say Cape Coast Moody Babako Hon Mako has said, Mana a day call on the bay yana. Okasa na Ghana for you, do what Tim sister. A yamija, the bag Ghana Becca say about this COVID issue. Me come for and fancy forts now Honucha near the car. Missing it from myself said Ghana for say, are they ready for the goodness that comes with them living in that country now? They want all the good resources in this whole world. Ghana is one of the world, sir. And one of the countries, sir. We have all these good resources, but we are the ones who want to tweet it from because we are not serious and we are not ready enough to fight for our own. Ghana for not serious like that, Frema. Ain't me pamocho. Kasana ye kansi so they mbusa Ghana for say, why you ready? And are they craving for the goodness of Ghana? Are they craving for the betterment for Ghana? So am I ready? That's almost craving. That's almost journey. That's almost 8 freedom fighters. Anything the country for dia. And ya Ghana ma. I was a most sorry mamu. One sorry. Ma yen ni paba 20. Yen to me ma Ghana nye. And ya that's na hano ma kasa. Nan kwa sefo we muku honum. Disika chuchidi. Pacha me demand we see Oliver Yamin Shrow and an shading Yamin Shrow, Freeman Yamin Show, Bibia Otie, a can so to about freedom fighters, and then a shading Freeman Shobia, Yamin Shram, with the Manuesi.
Yo, you better say, you know about Utiaba TV and I'm Mutin and Cano. na na shady so ye come for back pe na na back pe ono so na otai echi a obo echi dom ene na aseda pesi ebe kwa ma enua be ma Oliver say ye to ye nsafre wo na wadaje wase no na oni abetwetwi nkomo ya je wo mresi ye almost 2.5 hours. Yeah, sorry. They questions need ye will be brave or meaning say a brace in my bread by a honor 2 years after also. Own tree ya no form obedia to no bana what be any. And I have seen your mobby brave. Answer your becono, Mr. Oliver. O last word I would dema etifo and sana ya momo bye.
From my medase, I mean, say, first of all, won't say a member and common here. I did back penny die in so. Can let me use a Sunday for a different thing. Now, the CMO send me the mefemo ne the Sabe fem for my no. May catch a gunner for say, yen, it's a way you now by a qua, yanso. Because a coming qua, not is a me opportunity, me multiply me home 1 million. Akun. Second for bet nefi na makondia kamaye na na hye di wo hoyi so beye akobeye die betimi ama ye betimi ama mo nyina ye de mamo ya ho ndi nyina ye de ye hyem ye dwuma nyina ya sacrifice ye de se ne dachi bi nti dachi bi ye ma enkotru de ye kotru se ye future beye better na ye de ye nti mesremu se mo nsomo a someone from one gym, na more train salvation, more train yes to be for baby a ye ya moye mukra so krant me moye. Obi mbisa ti say ye frɛ ayimpo na je say ayi baye ilevia semi baye ye frɛ demonstration po a Ghana 40 baby ade baye wie ya na je say na mo fa phone na mo frɛ yen na mo nya baby na enu ne mo ma no ne no po a sem ne nka mo no no mo na support no sponsor microphone say bass nye campaign na day na ye ti ha no mom no ye fa ne say ni je say bibia na ne ya say ye wie debi di mesremo adwuma ye be nyina kasa nyina say yen ye be ho beto yen da achibinti ye mbisa wo hwe ayi demonstration pa ye kan fa 1 hour benante and look na obibisa wo ye kan se demo e levy ye see pe nipa 1 million ebesi ho abato a nipa 12 million ko to aba ebinim kra fam wu mu wie na makoto aba ma obi na mabeda aden na de hayen na se na obitimi de bibisi ho na hiafo na je se punish hiafo mo hwe e levy no ye se wo bank account wo transfer up to 20,000 Ghana cedis a yentil. Inti je say ye de aba mobo no so a na nye sikafo ne target on. Hiafo ne target. Because there's no reason here no on be say exception na akodu 20,000. But momo na na hiafo use no and mom no na je say after 100 ne ye betel. Inti ye kan mo amuni bie mo a je politicians no ayaresa bi yensie na tax a yese ye be support your healthcare ni nyina so ye gidie na mom no mo tibe bi na mo ye excuses mo na mo ye mo ko ama mo nti be dem pa na Ghana ye mo ye ko ama mo no agese ye chimo ma anase ye chimo ko police station ye ma mo aduane na police wa na ebro mu na bi no mu wu fam wu se dinwa be ma ye a nkranza for youth ye koku no Albert donc adent dem pa ne yenye ne hu se nye fa hudi ne yetim na mo sorry enye bibi fa ho ye de betimi akoso ye be koso aye ya femu de ye be koso nse be yie ama na kore nim de ne gina Ghana fosu fema medase
yo ene na miss medase na mada etiefo a mo so mo se mada je a mo gina so ahwe ya bepim sa be da masi. More questions need also next time I bet you in South Oliver no. Remember mo kwan na mo de mo questions aba. Na mo questions ni mom na megina so na me de aba so na one and dia be din sa so. Afin so sabre no e da na yesa e be friend next time no. Ya the link no be 2 page ni so. Na wo one kasa was be se bia ya ma wa join na also ebisa na asɛm no we ni de na ye pese muhu Oliver ye kana asɛm no mutie na num asɛm na muhu nipa ban a woye panyefo si me ko bi na ma nka bi de ene wa nko bi kra nkeye ene na me de aseda ebe ma obi bia se wo se wadaje na obehwe me mekuma mama jail me ka chade se be Oliver interview no wono na wo fa me ho ka matade ye hye me masoma de ene ade da me ko mu nyina ono fa me ho ka o ma me ho ayefe ma ye jero me do bi bia si nti da se ne ebe se hia one love me da masi.
Bye guys.
And I assure you, just like Henry VIII said to each of his wives, I shall not keep you long. I must warn you, though, that my intervention today is likely going to be rambling, so I hope you come to it expecting neither structure nor form. I originally intended it as a poem rather than a policy document. For me, it's a poem about resilience and the promise of a new Ghana. In that respect, I suspect that my intervention is likely to be quite different in tone than anything else you've heard today. Now, 8 months ago, I was a different person. I was a person preoccupied with different interests, mainly the philosophy of law and cognitive psychology. I was a person convinced, like many of my generation, that our democracy had not only failed, but was irremediably broken. We knew it needed fixing, that much we were certain of. Except between us, we understood intuitively that it was impossible to fix. And even if it wasn't, our politics will not allow it. It was too vicious. Innocent lives had been lost in the project to fix Ghana. Many had been maimed and communities left fractured. In many regards, those lost and broken lives served as a cautionary tale for why we citizens, or perhaps more accurately subjects, needed to remain pliant and toe the line. We knew to stay away from any ambitious projects of reimagining or pursuing a different vision for our society. Our parents raised us to be afraid of dreaming different. They made no virtue of bold defiance against the political system that had impoverished them and us. My generation was raised to give up. The price of our democracy is that it killed our imagination. It undermined our self-worth and made us distrust the legitimacy of our dreams. There's no denying that before Fix the Country, I too enjoyed the benefit of my relative anonymity. I was known only to those who knew me, and those who knew me well. I was hardly the object of public controversy, and Ghana's broken politics served only as a periodic distraction from a life I had a better grasp on. It was both peaceful and valued. It was a life that took me to working in the biggest law and policy firm in Washington, D.C., in close proximity with several officials who had served high